MMA Rockout.
Hey, Jeff here, bringing you our MMA Rockout series, which is going to feature 3 40-20 interval-based workouts. 40-20 is kind of that sweet spot between all the muscle building aspects you get from shorter, more power-based interval training and the cardio benefits you get from more longer endurance-based training. It's kind of that nice sweet spot. I call it strength cardio. Great workouts. It's all going to be equipment-free, body weight exercises. I am going to give kind of some dumbbell alternatives. So if you have a dumbbell at home, or even some cases, just a weighted travel bag that you can use to add a little bit for the pulling component. Otherwise, it's equipment free. I'll show some variations of that. We'll start progressive intensity, 3 workouts, get after it. Okay, here we go. Let's start here on the floor. First movement we're going to do, we're going to warm it up with the glute bridge. On your back, we're going to go toes to your shin, knees bent. Basically, I'm going to try to get full hip extension without a lot of back extension, okay? Toes to the shin, palms up. Push through, squeeze the glutes, lock it out, control it back down. Ideally, the butt doesn't touch the floor at the bottom here. I want to keep the toes pulled back in to better engage, to better relax the calves and hamstrings, and also pressing through the heels gives me more glute activation. Control it down, push through, extend. Don't worry about how high your hips are going. Just work on getting that full extension without a lot of movement from the back. Push through, squeeze. Right there, we're activating those. Good, 20 seconds, rock up to protect the lower back. Don't just try to sit up. Now we move into our pushing component here, which is going to be the side-to-side push-up variation. We'll start basic. You can do a plank hold if it hurts your wrist. Otherwise, I'm going to do a push-up hold. So here, wider than shoulder width apart with your hands, push down. I want you to really squeeze the glutes. If this hurts your wrists, come down into a plank and hold this position for the entire time. Otherwise, come up right here. If you can't hold for 40 seconds, do 5-second push-up hold. Go to your knees and rest. Come back up, squeeze the glutes, tight abs, lock it in. 5-second hold, back down and work up to where you can do a perfect push-up hold for 40 consecutive seconds. So this will be our level 1 variation. We'll progress this. It'll be fun. Hopefully. Stay nice and tight. Squeeze the glutes. Good. 20 seconds off. This 40-20 intervals, again, awesome. Great fusion of strength cardio. You really get enough just to transition, but not enough rest to really let the heart rate come down. So we're going to do a very advanced jump squat drop set, but let's start with the basics. Frog squat. Toes out, knees out. Sink it down into this frog squat position right here. Elbows inside the knees. And stand up. If you can't get all the way to the ground, that's okay right now. The key is to be able to get mobility in your hips. So I want to have my chest out and no rounded spine, okay? So shoulders down and back, come to the floor. If that hurts your knees, only go as low as you can or sit down on a bench or chair to modify. But let's get some hip mobility going. Load the heels, stand back up. It's called a frog squat. Here, sink it down, chest out. Right there. Great job. Okay, now we're going to do a sumo deadlift, which is very, very comparable to the frog squat, but it's a little bit more hip dominant. So in the frog squat, I essentially went down. It's more knee dominant of a movement. This is going to be more hip dominant. So let me show it from this position. Simultaneous flexion of the knees and hips. I want to push back with the butt and come down right here. So in the frog squat, it was more like me sitting down. This is more like me bending over, touching my toes. So push back, keep the head in line with the spine. I want to flex at the knee and hip. As long as you keep your weight on your heels and your eyes up, you can't do this wrong. Key is to make yourself feel this in the butt. Push back, heels, stand back up. Bam, once that feels good, you pick it up, touch down, heels, glutes, push back. Right there. Sumo deadlift. Kind of a hybrid movement between the squat and the hip hinge. Now, next up, we're going to do, kind of to finish up this circuit here, we're going to do a total body core move. It's going to go from easy to advanced. It's a planking exercise, so we got to start with where we left off with. I could do in level 1, right here, forearms. Again, don't let the back sink down. Don't push the butt up in the air. I want you to really brace the core, squeeze the glutes, lock it in. Again, kind of like the push-up hold. If it's too much, come to your knees and rest. Then do it for 5 seconds at a time. Right here, tight abs, tight glutes, lock it in. I can also come up right here, do a push-up hold, and then finally, knee into the elbow. Knee in, knee in. No movement in the back, only the hip. Right there. Great job. Okay, so that's a circuit. We got a little minute break. We'll go back and repeat the circuit, and round by round, we're going to do progressive intensity. So that's kind of a built-in warm-up. Now we'll progress our intensity. Some of these warm-up moves you can stay the entire time, but we'll try to have some fun with it. Now in the meantime, let's come down. If you got a foam roller, let's foam roll the IT band. Get some stuff in here. I'm going from the knee to the hip. Right there. Trying to relax these muscles here that's on the side. Your IT band is a very tight band that runs from the hip to the lateral part of the knee. So I'm going to give it about 5 or 6 good rolls here. Do the other side. And do this in between your workout. Will help keep the muscles relaxed enough that you don't tighten up, which has an impact on your joints. 90% of the time, if your joints hurt, it's because of tightness and restrictions in the connective tissue and muscles surrounding the joint, not necessarily the joint itself. So if you have knee pain, this is a really great corrective exercise for knee pain. Okay, invest in a foam roller. I advise it. All right, so here we go. Back to the glute bridge. Let's pick it up a little bit here. So here's our basic glute bridge hip extension. Squeeze the glutes, push back out. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit more challenging here. I can come here, here, or here, which are my arm progressions. I can also do leg progressions, where I come from wide stance to more of a inside hip width stance with my feet, to finally feet together, which will work different aspects of my glutes here. Lock it, control, squeeze the glutes, come back in. Don't let the butt touch at the bottom. Keep constant tension. Again, rock up to protect the lower back. So push-up variation. You've got the plank hold, the push-up hold. Stick with those if those are hard. I'm going to keep progressing this a little bit, okay? We're going to go into a pledge push-up variation. So here, this is a stability progression. So here, so this was my push-up hold or plank hold. I'm going to do a stability progression here. Pledge, pledge. Stay nice and tight. Squeeze the butt on this right here. You got to really brace the core. You do this right, no twisting of the spine. This will really smoke the trunk and build some lower abdominal strength. That'll give you a great foundation for all of your other exercises. Lock it in, pledge, controlled. So even if you can't do push-ups, you can build a strong core and upper body just with these stability hold progressions. Great. Okay, now, frog squat. If you have knee issues, also, let me show this right here. A wall sit. So these squat variations, a wall sit works all the same muscle groups without some of the knee pain. You can go quarter sit, half sit, or all the way down. Great modifications. Otherwise, let's go back here. Here was this frog squat. I want to go here, and I want to pick up the tempo a little bit, okay? So again, stick with that easier variation. I'm going to go speed squat till the halfway mark. Really smoking it. Here, here. Now halfway, go into a slower tempo squat if you start to fatigue, okay? Otherwise, push out, roll the heels. If you want to pick it up, feel free to do so. 40 seconds of speed squats though will get the legs rocking. Great job. Okay. Okay, now keep this in mind. We're going from a knee dominant to a hip dominant. One works the quads, one works the butt and hamstrings, okay? So this is that sumo deadlift. I'll show it one more time. Hinge at the hips, butt back, stand up, okay? I'm gonna make it a little bit more dynamic this time. So push back, stand, here. Now once that feels good, add that explosive jump, control down, explode up to the hip and heel, hip and heel. So it's this sumo deadlift, jump. Don't get too sloppy with this. Push back, pause at the bottom to load the hip and heel, explode up, explode up, explode up. Make yourself feel this in the butt. Right here, right there, butt back, head in line with the spine. Ah, great job. Now we come to the floor here for our fifth one, excuse me. This is the mountain climber or knee in. Called both of them. We'll do kind of a slower variation first. Just block down, plank hold, push up hold, or one I'm about to do. So here's the basic knee in. Knee at the hip. I don't want to move with my back whatsoever here, okay? Knee in, knee in. Knee, knee. Now I can come cross body. Cross, cross, cross. As long as I keep my belly button pointed to the floor. Push down with the palms to better stabilize the shoulders. Keep the eyes in front to keep my head in line with the spine. Push down. Ah. 60-second rest. Grab some water, towel off. If you've got a dumbbell, get that. I'm going to show a dumbbell variation to kind of intensify some of this. Otherwise, you can just do the circuit that I just did, which is all body weight. Travels anywhere. Great exercise to work out hotel rooms, living room, home.
Rest for 60 seconds.
Okay. Let's come down. Let's do our hips. These hips get tight. Start here. Work from your hip bone, the glute medial, cross this leg over to make it a little bit more intense. But when you're training your glutes and your hip flexors, they get really tight, and it starts to cause low back tension. So this is a great way just to kind of correct some of that. Do it in between your workout. You'll maintain your flexibility, your range of motion, and mobility is where it's at. All right, so we're gonna pick this up a little bit. We're gonna do the glute bridge march, which means I gotta maintain a hip extension the entire 40-second work period. So right here, so lock it out. Here's my hip extension. Tight glutes, tight abs, straight line from knee through hip without getting any low back movement here. Here's my march. Glute bridge march right here. So I'm maintaining hip extension the entire time, and I'm marching it up. I can do knee bent, I can do straight leg, or the knee in right here, either variation. Maintain that full hip extension, good job. Pick it up a little bit, good. Again, rock up to protect the lower back. You can, after you do this workout, come back next week and actually do the most advanced variations the entire workout. I'll show it to you. Each round we're going to do extra variations and all. Okay, so the pledge push-up. We got our push-up hold, pledge push-up. Now we're going to regular push-ups. So, hands, lock it down right here. Brace the core, squeeze the glutes. I will start partial range, either a quarter push-up, a half push-up, a 3/4 push-up. Keep those shoulders down and back. Don't shrug it. Or a full push-up. Whatever you can do. When you fatigue, go to the push-up hold. Right there. Come on. Push. Brace the core. Awesome. Okay, squats. Now here's where we get into some of what's called a drop set. Harder variation into an easier variation when we fatigue, okay? This is a drop squat. Halfway mark, and we'll go back to the speed squat, okay? Do the movements you can do really well. Feet inside hip width. Drop to the bottom, parallel. Drop, parallel. Drop, parallel. Right here. So this is called a drop squat. Basically drop to the bottom of the squat, back to the top. Get that front thigh parallel. If you fatigue, go back to the speed squat or right here. Let's finish it out. We've got about 20 seconds. Let's just crank out as many squats as we can in 20 seconds. And man, my legs are roasting right now. And I like it. Yes, okay. Grab a dumbbell. Do the sumo deadlift or the sumo deadlift jump that we did before. Otherwise, grab your dumbbell. I'm gonna do a one-arm sumo deadlift. Left hand first. So again, butt back. Here, squeeze the glutes to stand. You can use any type of weighted option. Anything you can hold on to. But again, feel this in the butt, not the quads. Halfway, I'm going to switch it. Take it just below the knees. Hinge. Now switch it over. Right here, reach back, pull through. I can even add the high pull here, or just the regular sumo deadlift. Great job. Put it down nice and safe. That's also how you pick up something and put it down. Sumo deadlift. Next up, mountain climbers. Faster version this time. Push up hold if you need to. Slow knee ins. Otherwise, let's crank it out here. Right there. Push down with the palms. We're running it. Running it. Really dig in with those hands. Keep the head in line with the spine. We got 20 seconds to go. Let's pick it up. If it gets too much, go back to those stationary knee ins. Otherwise, we're going. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Rest. Yes. Great work. Okay, we did some foam rolling for our glutes, IT band. Let's do a little bit of hip stretching here. Z-sit position. We're stretching glutes, hip flexors. Start in a 90-90s with the legs, nice and tall. Progress to pushing this leg back into what's called a pigeon pose. Don't ask me why they call it a pigeon pose. I've never seen a pigeon sit like this, but that's what they call it. I want to try to keep both hips on the floor and both knees on the floor. Sit up nice and tall, working this hip flexor, this glute. Now let's switch it over. Here, same thing. Extend this back. So we get really tight on these lower body movements. Just keep you flexible, take pressure off your back. All right, feet elevated glute bridge marches. This is your level 3. So right here, chair, box, or bench. Knee bent position. Here is my glute bridge. Don't let the butt touch at the bottom. This intensifies the amount of resistance on my hamstrings and glutes. I can even go here, lock it, march, march, march. Keep the hips up high. Really rocks the hamstrings and butt. Knee, knee. Right there. Come on. March it up. Great job. Remember, rock up to protect the lower back. Of course, I don't know why I got up. I had to get back down. Now we go side to side push-ups. So once you've mastered push-ups without winging out, okay, that's key. Keep the elbows in tight. I'll start there with the basics first. So if you're sprawled with the elbows, stick with the pledge push-up. And you can keep them in tight, stay there. Now, wider side to side push-up. Here, here. This elbow needs to be nice and tight, tucked into the rib cage. Side to side. Side to side. Right there. Ugh. Tuck it. Ah. Ah. I love it. Love it. Oh, baby. Ding, ding. How vicious was that? All right. Squat variation. Jump squat to drop squat, drop set. We do the hardest one first, the jump squat. Halfway, we scale back down to the drop squat. Woo, here we go, baby. Sink to the bottom, squat, jump, squat, jump. Don't get too sloppy with it. Sink to the bottom, control down, explode up. Right here. Knees out. Now, halfway, come to parallel, drop squat. Drop squat to finish. If this gets too hard, go back to the speed squats. Oh! Woo. Push, baby, push. Ding, ding, ding. All right, grab your bell. Next up, dumbbell, sumo deadlift high pull. Again, you can do the sumo deadlift jump, body weight variation that we did earlier. Otherwise here, reach out, pull high, control down, right here. If you can't get this low, don't worry about coming to the floor. Come below the knees, squeeze the glutes, pull. Pause at the bottom. Should feel this in the butt and shoulders. Now, switch it, reach, high pull. The minute the bell becomes weightless, control it back down. Butt back, weight on the heels. Ah! Final one. Ah! Mountain climbers. Mountain climbers to finish. Let's do it. Okay. So, we got push-up hold level 1, knee ins level 2, level 3, mountain climbers. Come on. Eyes in front. If you can keep your belly button pointed straight ahead, you can even come cross body. No movement in the lower back though. That's critical. Push down with the palms. All the way, all the way, all the way. That is your MMA Rockout Workout A. Check back for Workout B. See you soon, I'm Jeff. Get FastFit.